Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are. Welcome to another episode of Watercolor Instructions with me. I'm going to do another simple, quick flowers with the vase. I did one horizontal and then I'm going to just do one portrait. So again, these are compositions, they're not, and they're just colors. So I wouldn't think too much in terms of individual petal. These are a little more abstract flower vase. So generally I'm thinking about also materials. This is a Saunders 300 grams paper. The palettes and the colors, if you scroll down to the end of the video, I put in slides, all my colors and all my brushes. And if you have any particular request or ask, just put it in the comment section. And also help me out, like and subscribe if you already haven't. That goes a long way. So a simple horizon, maybe at an angle, maybe there's a window in the background. So I'm looking at some odd shapes. The door is open, something like that. I just create some shapes, and also the bottle. Let's create maybe a hexagonal or an angular bottle, so that it just gives a little more depth about what it is. And the flowers itself, I'm going to do something in that style. So that's the composition, and that's a shade, and then you're looking at a little bit of shadow. So shadow drawing, it's not complicated at all. It's just simple shape. I'm going to just pick up a few colors, whatever is on the palette, and then I'm going to go from there. So I'm just using a calligraphy brush. These are cheap ones, but they work well. So a little bit of the timber, whatever. So that's the frame. And a little bit of Bulgarian crimson. I'm just adding a little more red. Mindful just to stop here because that's the vase. And I'm going to wash it. Okay, and that color, I'm gonna maybe a little bit of greenery just outside the window. Some random colors, lighter greens. So that is roughly the background I'm thinking about. And I'm going to just add a little little bit of color. Okay, so that would work. I'm going to do a reddish pink flower, just a little bit of contrast. It's a little more lavender. Just applying the first color. Just filling up the space. Okay, that's roughly is what I'm looking at. I think at this stage, I'm gonna just dry the first layer. Okay, I'm gonna just slowly start building. So a little bit of red, Alzarian. So I'll have a little loose. Okay. So there's no, I'm just winging it, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of leaves. Maybe add a little more. Some scratches. Yellow. So okay, I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush. Now a little more color. In that area. Probably what I'm going to do is make sense of that clutter adding a couple of connection points to all those things. Okay, so, and okay, that's about what I'm going to do over there. Let me tackle the vase. A little bit of gray without the color, so I'm going to come in maybe a little darker. And less dark. Let it bleed. Last but not least, so a little more on the edge, a little color. Maybe a little more scratches. Okay. All right. So the last thing I'm going to do is just add a little more wiggle. And the center is to just want to add a little more dark. Not last but least, some stemming going inside the glass. Okay. That's it. So I'm going to let it dry for a second. I'm going to blow dry it. And that is a very quick Okay, now the reveal. Ta-da-dum. It's bleeded a little bit, but that's okay. That's a part of the character. The painting is good. Let me just check the camera if it's still in the frame. Seems to be. All right. And that is a quick, a slightly modern twist on a flower vase. Very quick, as long as you're looking at the composition. So that's the focal area. There's a geometric shape. There's a light coming in. There's a reflection. Making sure those kind of elements. So you can see there's a light in the background. Obviously this is in the foreground, so a little more darker, a little bit of green, and a little bit of shadow, and then those stems, especially with the water, let the water do its trick. I hope you enjoyed it. As I said, like, subscribe if you haven't, help me out, and see you in the next episode. Keep watercolor painting. Bye.